course says there is only, of all the problems you think you have and the world has, the millions and millions of different forms of problems, they're all really expressions of one problem. The one problem, which is the separation or the belief in separation. The belief that we somehow were able to change what God willed, and God willed us to be united, one creation expressed in many ways, but one creation joined, that we were able to somehow change that or do damage to that and separate ourselves out from God that created us and from the rest of God's creation, and find ourselves in these little tiny bags of bones and water as a result, separate and alone and vulnerable. And from that perception and that mistaken belief, all other ills, all other problems express out of that. To extend is a fundamental aspect of God, which he gave to his son. In the creation, God extended himself to his creations and imbued them with the same loving will to create. So I was saying earlier, when we shift into the macro mind and know yourself as one with all, and then have the capacity to be the mind in charge, it's not like you're forcing anything beyond its will. You're finding the true will of God and moving with it and moving everything else with you with it. And so you have not only been fully created, but have also been created perfect. So whoever's stressing right now over your imperfection or whatever it is you think you did wrong today or yesterday, or whatever somehow makes you less or makes you want to hide or disappear and whatever, it's bogus. The truth is you were created perfect. So you can just let that idea supersede. You were created perfect. That's how God created you, and God makes no mistakes, and there's nothing more powerful than God. You can invent a world where you're imagining things God didn't create, but you can't change the truth. That's a fundamental law of God, and that should bring you peace and solace. And if you take it all the way in right now, right here today, in this moment, in this second, whatever that was can disappear completely, and the results of it can disappear completely as well. That is a miracle. And so you have not only been fully created, but have also been created perfect. There's no emptiness in you. Because of your likeness to your creator, you are creative. God created you by extending himself to become you, right? Just said he extended himself to you to be you. Then you are all that God is, and God is pure creation. And so are you, so am I. So no child of God can lose this ability because it is inherent in what he is, but he can use it inappropriately by projecting. So we're using the same function or ability or capacity to extend and create more of self. We're twisting it and using it. We extend as a way of creating more of what's already perfect and staying one with it. But we project. The purpose is what's different. The reason behind it, we project in order to get rid of what we think is not perfect and get away from it, which is not possible. We can imagine that it's possible. But the problem is with whatever you project, you will attack. And because you can't really separate it from you, you're attacking self. It may appear like it's not you and you can attack it over there, but where it will be felt is in here. This hand, like in the screen, looks very separate from this hand. This hand starts beating up this one and thinks that it can get away with it. It won't affect this hand. But if you look at my arms, they're connected to this one body. What happens to this hand is happening to this hand. You smash this hand with a hammer, it will bleed, it will feel pain, it'll get infected, and that's going to affect this hand. That's what happens. You can't project anything outside of you. You can only imagine that you do. And it's a misappropriation or misuse of our ability to extend.